around the room real quick and just think about what you see, and I'm going to tell you what I see. Just look around the room. Look at each other. Look at each other's face. Somebody say NFL. No. I said somebody say NFL. What you're looking at right now is the new face of leadership. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at the new face of leadership. Now, phenomenal. Jace, it's a hard act to follow, but I'm going to try to just supplement if I can for a moment. Is that okay with you? All right, so I come from a long way. I come from Harlem, New York. Not the new Harlem, the old Harlem. Right? Let me specify. The old Harlem, right? The true Harlem. Most people my age demographic are either dead or in jail for life. They didn't make it out. I'm one of the rare few. And that's because I chose to go the route of SOE. So a lot of people in business talk about SOPs. Everybody know what SOPs are? Woo-hoo. Yes, ma'am. But Jay said something about SOEs. Does anybody know what SOE is? There you go. Say it again. Standards of excellence. So I help people put zeros behind their numbers. I help people move up in or out of their organization. Yes, ma'am. And get paid their annual income monthly, their monthly income weekly, and their weekly income daily. But I do that with a standard of excellence. The way we show up many times for other people is absolutely phenomenal. But the way we show up for ourselves is lackadaisical. We don't really show up for ourselves the way we could if we really put the kind of standards of excellence that we show for other people on ourselves. I don't have so much time, but I want to give you a couple bullet points. I hope everybody has something to write with. If not, I promise you, if you follow me at all, you're going to want to use something to write with. CSA. First, CSA. Clarify, simplify, and amplify. Clarify, simplify, and amplify. It starts with a decision. Who do you want to do? Who do you want to be, and what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? You have to define that. If you don't know, then it's vague, and it'll never be clear. The problem that we have is clarity. We're not clear. We walk into an organization happy to be there, happy that they accepted us, happy that they're willing to have us. But we don't have a clear goal. That's why people stay in the same organization year after year after year, go to the same vacation spots with the same people and talk the same amount of nonsense around the same water cooler. So when I go into an organization and someone says they've been here for 20 years and they're still around $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, I'm like, whew, it's chilly. It's a little bit cold because it's hard to build a legacy with that. It's real hard. I work with people in organizations whose wives and husbands try to figure out how they can get their vacation around the same time. How can we line this up so we can go on vacation together? And is it the same place? I'm tired of hearing the word staycation. Huh? That's painful to me. When I know that all it takes for you to raise your prices, whether it's inside or outside of an organization, is self-belief and dedication. All right, let me back up a little bit. My background is in industrial and organizational psychology and organizational development and change. Before you think I'm just from Harlem, I have 2 master's degrees. I'm in 2 doctorates right now, all but dissertation, PhD and EdD. EdD in leadership for change, PhD in organizational development and change. So we heavyweight, we not lightweight, not anymore. It's not opinionated, it's not theory, it's evidence-based. So what I'm saying is evidence-based. We have the most buying power. We are the origin that they copy from anyway. All the systems and processes, the engineering, the technology has been taken. The brand. So I teach branding and marketing precisely, but I teach it a little bit differently. Is that okay? Is it okay if I teach it a little bit differently? Can I share it? Are you sure? Nobody will be upset with me once I share it, will you? I don't want you to be upset with me. I promise you, right? I'm a high I, so I'm high on personality. If you remember, I was meeting people at the door. I like people, right? So I don't want you to feel offended. I teach brand you and not what you do. Brand you and not what you do. So when I meet people, I ask people, tell me a little bit about yourself, and they immediately tell me what they do. That's not who you are. That's what you do. That's what someone hired you to do. That's the major that you took in college. It doesn't tell me who you are. And as an entrepreneur or a business owner, when you say we help organizations do this, or we do this, we, not I. Come on now. Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? Before I give it more definition? Listen. Branding is who you are. Marketing is how people find out about you. So when you say, I'm a photographer, you just lumped yourself in with a million other photographers. What's special about you? Why should I work with you? I don't need a hand with a camera. I need a man with a story, a woman with a goal, a vision, someone with an idea of what they want to be and who they want to impact in their lives. That's what moves me. And behind movement, somebody write this down. Money follows movement. Write it down, but feel it. Money follows movement. You're here because you felt something. Can somebody say I? We're here because we felt something. We heard the word love and we felt something because we're a loving people. We heard the word leadership and we felt something because we know where we belong, whether we're in that seat or not. We heard the word legacy and we were pulled to come. I flew in last minute. Let's go. Leadership, legacy, love. Whew, I got to be there. So what happens in marketing is when you say, I am you put yourself in what we call a Red Sea. You're now fighting against a million competitors with a million different things. What's your name, young lady?
Sandra.
Sandra?
Yeah.
But when you say, I am Sandra, and I am, are you a mother?
No.
Okay. And I am not a mother, but who do you want to help?
My students.
Okay. I am Sandra, and I am not a mother, but I want to help my students. When someone tells me that, it's like, okay, it begs me to hear more. And what did she just do? She just took herself out of a Red Sea, where there's a lot of competition, everybody doing the same thing, and she puts herself in a blue sea, where there's no competition. Because no one has the DNA. No one has the fingerprint that you do. That's identical to you. No one else has it. So when you brand you and not what you do, now you're one of one. You're what we call a Pegasus or a unicorn. Pegasus is a horse with wings. Everybody knows what a unicorn is, right? Okay, so CSA, you have to make a decision. Clarify, who are you? What do you stand for? And then simplify it. Don't make it 10 things. Make it one. Don't do 10 things. At once, do one thing. Bruce Lee said, I do not fear the man who has thrown 10,000 kicks. He says, I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. See, a lot of us are generalists. We're generalists. We brand ourselves as a master of so many different things. We do so many things. We just want money. Okay, so let me help you out real quick. Put meaningfulness over money, please. Put meaningfulness over money. Put impact over income. Put people over profit. Put value over valuation. When you do this, you can add a 0 to the back of your number. There's a difference between a general practitioner and a shoulder specialist, right? You go to the general practitioner. What happens when you go to GE? I'm not from Denver, but what happens at the emergency room in Denver? Probably the same thing that happens everywhere, in every city. It smells a little bit, doesn't it? It's crowded. This baby's crying. People come out sweating. They're running from one thing to the next, right? But they can't really help you if you have a specialized issue. So I want you to ask yourself, am I qualified to help someone who has a specialized issue? Because the general practitioner might make 120, but you got to take the subway to get to them or the bus to get to them or find parking when you try to get to them. But when they send you to the specialist has, what's your favorite car? What's your dream car? Huh? Somebody say it. Rolls, that's huge. You got to be a super specialist to have that. But inside of the specialist has a beautiful car outside, and there's a parking lot. There's somewhere you can park. It's comfortable. What I'm talking to you about is positioning, guys. I'm going to end with this. 5 P's to marketing. 5 P's. Place. Place first. Where do you do business? Where do you do business? You can have the most mouth-watering steak that the world has ever seen, but if you try to position it or place it in a vegan neighborhood, you make no money. Right? So place. People. Who are you trying to market to? Sometimes we don't support each other, and that's sad. That's sad. It's true, though. Sometimes you have to go to someone else. Sometimes you got to go outside of your community, outside of your neighborhood, outside of your phone book to find someone who will support you. So if your business is hurting, think about the place that you're trying to move, whatever it is that you're moving, and the people that you're trying to sell to. Positioning. Ooh, this is a big one. How are you positioned in the marketplace? Are you number 1 or are you number 25? How do you level up? What's your distinguishing points? How do you look when you walk in the room? Let me give you a sidebar. You're always being watched. Every moment, wherever you go, you're on a job interview. Someone saw me walking in the back. They said, "Hey, who are you?" I said, "My name is Shaan Rais." He said, "Oh, I run this podcast. Tell me about yourself." I told him a little bit about myself. He said, "Well, maybe we can work together." Do you think he would have said that if I had on a T-shirt? If I didn't stand out? How do we position ourselves? How do we hold ourselves? Strategy of preeminence. Write that down if you've never heard of it. Strategy of preeminence. You want to become the OVO. The OVO is the only viable option in your vertical. The only viable option in your vertical. We're not here for competition. We're here for domination. Hold on. I said we're not here for competition. We're here for domination. Period. And if you feel differently, you're probably in the wrong room. I'm not for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But if you want to raise your prices, if you want to change your zip code, if you want to change your tax bracket, if you want to pay whatever you get paid now, if you want to pay that with a smile during tax season, I'm probably your cup of tea. I'm probably your cup of tea. I'm probably your flavor. So, positioning, people, place. Packaging. How are you packaged? When I saw the brother here, I said, "Hey, brother." I shook your hand, didn't I? Come here, brother. Come here. Don't be afraid. I shook his hand. I said, "Hey, brother, the packaging. Look, I know the packaging." Do you understand? I know the pack. I said, "Oh, he got white sneakers on too." I said, "Oh, maybe I should have wore shoes." I know who I'm speaking to from sight. Do you understand? Because I spend money and I make money. I invest money the same way. I give it the same way I get it. And you want people to see you as money, recognize you as money, and say, "Hey, this person looks like, cha-ching, cha-ching. Maybe we can do business." That means you're the king in your vertical. You're the queen in your vertical. So we've gone through 4 P's. Is anybody ready for the 5th one? Are you ready for the 5th one? Yes. Might want to capture this. Might want to capture this. For God's sakes, man, your prices. Your prices. We should not compete for price. We should stand out because of price. Let me put an underline that. We should not compete over price. We should stand out because of price. Some people look for the lowest price. You're making a big mistake because you're defining yourself. Your success comes from mindset and perception. If you're competing over the lowest price, there's a problem. You don't really have an income problem. You have a mentality problem, a self-perception problem, a belief, a self-esteem problem. Why do you want the lowest price? The lowest price means the lowest quality. And if you know the lowest price means the lowest quality, why are you trying to compete on the level of low prices? What you might be able to get from somebody else for a couple $100 is going to cost $10,000 and better from me. I'm the Four Seasons of executive coaching. I'm the private plane of organizational development. Where are you placing yourself, and why can't you see yourself on the private plane? If anybody's there, you can be there. I promise you, and I guarantee it. If anybody's there, you not only could, should, or would, you belong there. The seat is uncomfortable from the back. Go first class one time, you'll never go back. Go first class one time, you'll never go back. And don't just sit in first class. Wait till you get the seat in the very first seat. So when they get on the plane, they can see what it looked like. Be the face of change that you want to see. Stop asking questions and start giving demands. Stop asking questions and start giving demands. Train people. I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave you with one thing. We train people how to treat us when they meet us. I've been saying this for years. We train people how to treat us when they meet us. But the rest of that is we train people how to treat us when they meet us based on how we treat ourselves. Value yourself. I literally got an email from a client who just on my Facebook group, she said that I was speaking to someone, she's a travel agent, and she said I was working with a neurosurgeon and somebody else in stocks, and they were trying to get a seat on a plane and a hotel. She's a travel agent, right? So that's what they're looking for. And she said, I was about to send my quote, but then I thought about Shaan Rais, and he was in my ear. You train people how to treat us when you meet us. Put a 0 behind your number. And before I sent the invoice, I added a 0 to the back of it. And she posted a picture of it, and she said, I'm so glad that nobody refused me. We train people how to treat us when we meet us based on how we treat ourselves. Brand you and not what you do. Thank you.